These are the videos that accompany the lab on charge in a magnetic field. This lab starts off the electromagnetism unit, and it's just observational in nature. We want to observe the behavior of the system, but we're not going to take any quantitative measurements off of this system. Therefore, this lab is not eligible for writing up as a lab report. So the main device that we're using in this experiment is called an E/M apparatus. And the main piece of that is the thing that looks like a giant light bulb there in the middle of that. And it has 4 parts. There's a bunch of power supplies over here on the left, and we'll talk about how those are connected shortly, but the main piece that we want to focus on is what's happening in this system right here. So as you can see on the lab handout, it talks about the 4 main parts of this system. In the back, sort of hidden by that little U-shaped shield, is a filament very similar to a light bulb filament, and when you send an electrical current through the system, that filament is going to glow, and some of the electrons that it pumps through there get enough energy that they actually leave the filament itself, and those are the ones that we want to use to form an electron beam. There are also 2 plates that are near that filament, and that filament is the filament is connected to one of our power supplies right here. Then there are 2 plates, but in this particular one you can't actually see the plates because they've hidden them in that cone-like apparatus right there. But suffice it to say, there's one, the front part of the cone is connected to a positive charge, and the back part, which you can't see there hidden inside, is connected to the negative port of a power supply. So essentially that cone becomes a capacitor. And so when you have these boiled off electrons in that region, they will move away from the negative plate near where they leave the filament. They'll head towards that positive cone because they're attracted to the positive plate. And that action not only gets them all going in one direction, but it speeds them up. And how much it speeds them up depends on how much of a potential difference I have between those 2 pieces of the charged plate. The third piece that you can see, and you can actually see 2 metal plates, one's angled slightly up, one's angled slightly down. Those are connected to an additional power supply here, and we're going to make an observation in a little bit about what happens when we turn power on there, but that acts as a second capacitor-like device in the system. And finally, we have 2 big coils here. Collectively, this geometry is known as Helmholtz coils, but when we send a electrical current through these coils, it will produce a magnetic field in this region by this bulb. So that's the main parts, and so we're going to walk through the various parts of the observation here.